Daily Words of God. Today's work of conquest is intended to make it obvious what man's end will be. Why do I say that today's chastisement and judgment are judgment before the great white throne of the last days? Do you not see this? Why is the work of conquest the final stage? Is it not precisely to make manifest what kind of ending each class of man will meet? Is it not to allow everyone, in the course of the work of conquest of chastisement and judgment, to show their true colors and then afterward to be classified according to their kind? Rather than saying this is conquering mankind, it might be better to say that this is showing what kind of ending there will be for each class of person. This is about judging people's sins and then revealing the various classes of person, thereby deciding whether they are evil or righteous. After the work of conquest, then comes the work of rewarding good and punishing evil. People who obey completely, meaning the thoroughly conquered, will be placed in the next step of spreading God's work to the entire universe. The unconquered will be placed in darkness and will meet with calamity. Thus will man be classified according to kind, the evildoers grouped with evil, never again to see the sunlight, and the righteous grouped with good, to receive light and live forever in the light. The end is near for all things. Man's end has been clearly shown to his eyes, and all things will be classified according to kind. How, then, can people escape the anguish of each being classed according to kind? The different ends of each class of man are revealed when the end is near for all things, and this is done during the work of conquering the entire universe. The revelation of the end of all mankind is done before the seat of judgment, in the course of the chastisement, and in the course of the work of conquest of the last days. Classifying people according to kind is not returning people to their original classes. For when man was made at the time of creation, there was only one kind of human, the only division being between male and female. There were not many different kinds of people. It is only after several thousand years of corruption that different classes of humans have emerged, with some under the domain of filthy devils, some under the domain of evil devils, and some, those who pursue the way of life, under the dominion of the Almighty. Only in this way do classes gradually come into being among people, and only thus do people separate into classes within the large family of man. People all come to have different fathers. It is not the case that everyone is completely under the dominion of the Almighty, for man is too rebellious. Righteous judgment discloses the true self of each type of person, leaving nothing hidden. Everyone shows their true face in the light. At this point, man is no longer the way he was originally. His ancestors' original likeness has long vanished, because countless descendants of Adam and Eve have long been captured by Satan, never again to know the heaven sun, and because people have been filled with all manner of Satan's venom. Thus, people have their appropriate destinations. Moreover, it is on the basis of their differing venoms that they are classified according to kind, meaning they are sorted by the extent to which they are conquered today. Man's end is not something that has been predestined since the creation of the world. That is because in the beginning there was only one class, which was collectively called mankind, and man was not corrupted by Satan at first. And people all lived in God's light, with no darkness befalling them. But after man was corrupted by Satan, all types and kinds of people spread out all over the earth. All types and kinds of people who came from the family collectively named mankind, that was made up of males and females. They were all led by their ancestors to stray from their oldest ancestors, the mankind which consisted of male and female. At the time, the Israelites were the only people whose lives on earth were guided by Jehovah. The various types of people who emerged from the whole of Israel then lost the guidance of Jehovah. These early peoples, completely ignorant of matters of the human world, subsequently went along with their ancestors to live in the territories they claimed, which has continued up to the present day. Thus do they remain ignorant of how they strayed from Jehovah, and of how they have been corrupted to this day by all manner of filthy devils and evil spirits. Those who have been profoundly corrupted and poisoned up to now, those who ultimately cannot be rescued, will have no choice but to go with their ancestors, the filthy devils who corrupted them. Those who can ultimately be saved will go to mankind's appropriate destination, meaning to the end reserved for the saved and conquered. Everything will be done to save all those who can be saved. But for people who are insensitive and incurable, their only choice will be to follow their ancestors into the bottomless pit of chastisement. Do not think that your end was predestined in the beginning and has only now been revealed. If you think in that way, then have you forgotten that during the initial creation of mankind, no separate satanic class was created? Have you forgotten that only one mankind made up of Adam and Eve was created? If you had been Satan's descendant in the beginning, would this not mean that when Jehovah created man, he included a satanic group in his creation? Could he have done something like that? He created man for the sake of his testimony. He created man for the sake of his glory. Why would he have intentionally created a class of Satan's progeny to deliberately resist him? How could Jehovah have done such a thing? If he had, who would say that he is a righteous God? When I say now that some of you will go with Satan in the end, it does not mean you were with Satan from the beginning. Rather, it means you have sunk so low that even if God has tried to save you, you have still failed to gain that salvation. There is no choice but to classify you with Satan. This is only because you are beyond salvation, not because God is unrighteous to you and intentionally fixed your fate as an embodiment of Satan and then classifies you with Satan and purposely wants you to suffer. That is not the inside truth of the work of conquest. If that is what you believe, then your understanding is very one-sided. The final stage of conquest is meant to save people, and also to reveal their endings. It is to disclose people's degeneration through judgment, thereby causing them to repent, to rise up, and to pursue life and the right path of human life. It is to wake up the hearts of the numb and obtuse people, and to show, through judgment, their inner rebelliousness. However, if people are still unable to repent, still unable to pursue the right path of human life, and unable to cast off these corruptions, then they are beyond salvation and will be devoured by Satan. Such is the significance of God's conquest, to save people, and also to show their endings. Good endings, bad endings, they are all revealed by the work of conquest. Whether people will be saved or cursed is all revealed during the work of conquest.